Welcome back everyone to the Pop Cult Lair. I'm Anthony and I'm here to discuss the new DC Universe Rebirth issue 1 one-shot by Jeff Johns and a superb cast of artists. Now let's jump right into it and talk about the cover. Now you can see on the top right corner you can see the new DC logo, a little throwback classic logo, and I love the symbolism of the cover being reminiscent of Michelangelo's creation of Adam. Now that's really cool. It kind of fits with the story that you start reading about creation and the beginning of everything. Now this one shot really tells the legacy of the DCU, which I love. So right off the bat, I love this story. In the beginning, you get a feel of an Alan Moore Watchmen feel, especially with the panels and the dialogue and the monologue and following the character's thoughts and emotions, telling his side and hinting at who he is. And within the next few pages, you are surprised or shocked by seeing Wally West, the original Wally West, before the New 52 happened. And he is traveling through the Speed Force and trying to connect with every person that he feels connected to. And the first person he believes to try to break the barrier and communicate with is Batman. And he's warning Batman and trying to awaken his thoughts about pre-52. And one of his hints is the letter he got from his father from Flashpoint. So a lot of it in this story goes back and forth of the legacy again of the DC universe. And so he only has so much time to communicate with everyone he travels to. Even the Crisis on Infinite Earths, when Wally West was the Flash, and he even says it. He says, "Bruce, I need your help." But no one remembers that once upon a time, I was the Flash too. My name is Wally West. I'm the fastest man alive. And I really love how Jeff Johns taps into your emotions. I felt curious, I felt anger, I felt sad, happy towards the middle, towards the end. But it's a very sad story about your heroes and all these mythological creations. These fairy tales, basically. These are why I fell in love with all these characters. Is I love their stories, and I love how they were created before me and will live long way past us and me, and as long as we keep remembering them, they will live on, and that's what makes them more human than us, in my own opinion. But I love that. I love the mythology of it all, about if you start forgetting the things you care about, then it's not so special anymore. So I love how Wally West taps into trying to awaken everyone and saying, remember the past, remember who we were, remember who I am, please. And I also love the fact that Jeff Johns goes in the vault of the DCU, and even characters I've never even heard of. I had to Google. So like Johnny Thunderbolt, I never knew who he was, and when I looked him up, I found out that he was created in the 1940s, and he was a part of the Justice Society, which Wally discusses. He says, find the Justice Society, and the old man says, it's all I've been trying to do. And nobody believes him. And also we see a legion of superheroes ring, so we know they're still out there. It's like a love letter of all the flaws in the New 52 that you know, that we cared about. You know, Ted Kord is in here with Jaime Reyes and their banter about not being another Batman Robin team, but you see how Ted Kord really wants to father him and show him the ropes of being a Blue Beetle. I love the interaction and the talk about the 52 version of Green Arrow and Black Canary, about their relationship. It's a void deep inside them, something buried deep in their hearts. This strange feeling keeps them up at night, wondering what have they lost. They take a look at each other and they know there's something between them, but it never was. Pre-52, they were together. So Wally is seeing what the new 52 changed and isn't happy with it. And the one thing that he felt that would bring him back would be his love, which was Linda, the reporter. And he finally taps in to try to find her, and he's telling her, "Don't you remember me? It's Wally. Take my hand and I can come home." And she looks up at him and she says, "I don't know who you are." And that takes him back to the Speed Force and the Speed Force realm. And the one thing that he thought that he loved the most in the world couldn't even bring him back. So he's beginning to lose hope, and kind of like an epilogue, he starts to accept his fate of being lost. And once you forget, it's gone. And I thought that was really sad, and it touched upon not even in a superhero world, but in a reality of, you know, the people you loved, and once you stop remembering them. The final person within the journey of this Kingdom Come Spectre-ish story, or the Christmas Carol story of the Wally West ghost, has one last stop before he vanishes into non-existence, was Barry, his best friend, his mentor. He appears in front of him saying, "You don't know who I am, and you won't remember, so this is hello and goodbye." And he's telling him, "You all forgot things like me." As he's saying this, he's evaporating into nothingness. "Thank you for your kindness, your inspiration, for being there for so many times. For now, the last time." And Barry's just shocked because he doesn't know who he is. He even thought it was him in the beginning. He called him Barry, and he says, "No, it's Wally." And he says, "I don't understand." Upon his evaporation, he says, "Goodbye, Barry, goodbye." And just as Barry's confusion arises, he snaps into it and grabs Wally's arm and says, "Wally," with a question mark, and pulls him straight out of the Speed Force realm and into reality. And he says, "I'm back." And you see the sadness, I mean, within Barry's eyes, saying, "I'm so sorry, how could I forget? My God, how could I forget?" And there's just a beautiful picture right here drawn of them two holding each other in embrace. How could I ever forget you? I mean, if that doesn't touch your heart, I mean, you're not human. I mean, that's brotherly love right there. You get to see the past of how they first met and how they worked together. Barry was literally a father figure, because Wally never had a father or a brother. No one to show him the ropes or show him how to be a person, how to be a good person. So, in all honesty, Geoff Johns wrote a really touching, beautiful story within this one shot. Now, whether the Rebirth works or not, I enjoyed this. $2.99 for 80 pages. It's worth it. Go out there and make your own opinions. It was a 10 out of 10 for me. Yeah, stay tuned for more. Peace out.